Hello to my party people out there in Radio Land. Welcome to this week's transmission. Today's topic, spirituality. Yay! Everybody loves that. One size does not fit all. Okay, so again, this is something that kind of came to me based on my own experiences with spirituality and my awakening and growth and all of that other stuff. And kind of, I wouldn't say comparing it, but just kind of noticing the differences, the quirks, right, between my own spiritual path and that of a lot of renowned spiritual teachers and spiritual healers. So basically, what I realized is that you don't have to model your spiritual ascension process after that of the spiritual healers that you know or you admire or that you follow. Ouch. A lot of spiritual teachers I've noticed are vegan or they're vegetarian, right? And I feel like that it almost becomes like a cult, right? Like this is the culture, this is what is expected of you. And I personally have realized that really any and everything that you do in this life is all about alignment, right? If you are mentally aligned with your actions, then only the best can come to you, right? And that includes your consumption patterns, right? So my take on this is that babies and tribes are the purest beings, right? To me personally, right? They have the closest connection to God, to the universe. Yet babies are open to whatever, and tribes, most tribes people are meat eaters, right? They say prayers for the souls of the animals before they kill them, before they consume them, and all of this. So again, this is not like a rant, so to speak, about what you're eating. The whole point of this transmission is just to show you, to juxtapose commonly accepted spiritual characteristics against real life. Let's be real, right? Let's be real. So you say, well, everybody has their own path, and eventually, once you ascend or once you become more and more woke, right, then you'll eventually see the horrors of eating meat or animal products. And to that, I disagree, because everybody has their reasons for doing stuff. So if you have a moral stance like I love animals, blah blah blah, then that's understandable. But what I've noticed is that there's a lot of condescension in it. Like, oh, well, you're a spiritual healer and, you're not vegan, you're not this, you're not living off sunshine and oxygen. Like, gasp. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, a little more, there's more to it, right? Because certain people eat their diet. Certain people have health needs that are different, right? Some people have things that are lacking in their body, which makes them have to consume certain things that other people would think like, oh, I wouldn't, overdo it. Just like I said in the other transmission, how some people can't eat a lot of fruit, right? Because of their blood glucose. So some people may have issues like with iron or whatever else, and they are doing what they have to do in order to get that. Now, obviously, you can get iron from different sources, but that's just an example. Okay, also realize that everything is alive. Grass, trees, plants, everything wants to live. Everything, right? Everything is alive. So if you're saying, well, I, am against eating meat because animals are alive and this, you should realize that so is grass and so our plants and trees, all of that is alive. And I gotta believe that anything alive wants to live, right? So it's kind of like, it's just something, it's a point to ponder. Like when I, you know, pick flowers and stuff, I try not to do it too much, but sometimes I have to. Like, I think about that. Like, this thing is alive. Like, when I eat spinach, I'm like, ooh, this stuff, like, it's alive. And everything alive has, a soul. It may not be conscious in the sense that you want or like a human, but it's all connected. We're all aware. So if you really want to get down to it, everything is living, right? Everything is living. Everything. Life is about balance, right? And avoiding extremes, right? Not going too far left or too far right, right? Being happy, having fun, being free. That's the human experience. So if you are of the mindset where you are trying to avoid being human in order to be more spiritual, you're doing it all wrong. And I mean, I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying I gotta believe that you didn't manifest into a human body just to eschew all of the human, things, everything that makes you human. What's the point of being human then? Like that, you can't just completely give all that up. Another thing I noticed too is social seclusion, right? So a lot of spiritual gurus, there go my air quotes again. Hey, air quotes. They, kind of reside in a state of infinite seclusion, right? It's like, well, no, I don't really go out. I don't really like people. I get that, right? I get that because large crowds bring energy, different types of energy and all of that. And you definitely, again, have to balance and cleanse. But I don't think that being socially reclusive is a prerequisite for being spiritual. I think a lot of people probably were already that way, or maybe they were already really sensitive to energy. And so as a result, that led them to a spiritual journey, right? Because when you're by yourself, you start thinking about stuff, right? Which is a good thing. You have to be alone. You have to be able to listen to yourself, right? And listen to the universe. But at the same time, I think that flipping it the other way around works too, right? If you are a person who likes to be around people and likes to do things and likes to get the joy out of life, that doesn't mean that you can't be spiritual. It just means you have to balance that out, right? That's what I think. And this, I got this information as a direct download from my own experience. Like, I spent the day last weekend, like just meditating, literally in the state of meditation, reading, just complete silence, cleaning, like quiet, very much calm still. And just like reading and just chilling. And then I was like, I kind of want to do something. The full moon came out. But then I was like, oh, you have a pretty restless soul. So just chill and read. But then something in me was like, but no, I did that all day. And I was like, well, I don't have to do anything. I can just chill. And I talked to myself, I was being spiritual, y'all. But yet when I start looking stuff up, it's like angel numbers. Every time I'm like, ooh, I should go here, I should do this. It was like angel numbers. 1, like just go, basically. Everything was saying like, just go. Why wouldn't you go? Everything that you want to do, if you stay home, first of all, you've already done, and you can do that tomorrow. So I found out why. I followed my instinct, right? Something was telling me like, go out. And I ended up giving like a Reiki treatment to a person out, right? Ain't that crazy? I was just trying to kick it. And I end up like having to do that, right? So light attracts light no matter where you are. So, and then the next day I was back into like a meditative mind frame. So it was just kind of crazy. Like I learned like why I got to see directly, like this is why you were supposed to come out, because you were going to meet these souls and you had to touch these souls and, you had to encourage them and, send some positive energy to them. Like you had to do that. It was crazy because from the outside looking in, it would be like, oh, well, spiritual people don't dance. Spiritual people don't go out. They don't, go to parties or any of that stuff. They just, and it's kind of like, that ain't my path. And I mean, there's something that I had to learn. I had to figure that out. Like, your path ain't like everybody else's, right? Which makes sense, because if we all have different skills and talents and gifts in life, right? Why would we, if our souls are different, why would we have the same spiritual path, right? There are no cookie cutter people. So there cannot be this cookie cutter spiritual awakenings either, right? It's impossible. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Raising the world's vibration is not just about idling, right? It takes work. And sometimes you got to pray with your feet, as Dr. King says, right? It's nice to sit back and commune with the ancestors and, keep that vibration. But again, that's part of the human experience, right? Being able to maintain that and to remember who you are despite the things around you and what life appears to be, right? Because remember, we talked about the fact that human eyes are not that good. That's what it's about. It's a game. It's a game. Life is a game and nothing more. That's it. That's all it is. If you do X, Y, Z, can you handle the consequences, right? Can you come out of that? Can you rise out of that? Can you remember who you are? That's it. That's all it is. That's it. So, the moral of the story is, don't mimic your spiritual journey after anybody else's. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say, well, they do this, they drink this, they eat this, no. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to the universe. And everything you need, it will come. Everything you need to know, it'll come to you. That's it. Walk to the beat of your own drum or heartbeat, right? Boom, 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 boom. Express yourself, right? Kick it, have fun. All right, live, be human. All right, do a little G. That's all I got to say. Thank you for listening. Have a phenomenal week. Love, light, laughter. Bye.